What's up, YouTube? Today, I have something different than I usually do. You know what I'm saying? What I'm going to talk about is the 2011 rabbit hole. This is the week of Thanksgiving, so you have Black Friday coming up. Now, I want to do a Black Friday special, which means I'm going to have to do another one of these in a few days. And I kind of wanted to explain to you guys why I've been spending so much time with these 2011s. This is supposed to be a channel that deals with all types of guns, right? So we haven't really gotten to the rifles yet. And I want to get into the rifles because specifically, I still think rifles are one of the ways to go if you are buying for defense, for home defense. Right now, I am falling down the rabbit hole for 2011s. And I just wanted to kind of go over some of that stuff with you guys. So, without further ado, the 2011 rabbit hole, and we'll break down some of the popular ones, or at least some one of the ones that I do know about, and kind of give you guys an introduction so people can see the vast amount of models that are out there of 2011s. Some of them familiar because of their popularity, and then some that are yet unfamiliar and are better shooting than the ones that you thought were the best. All right? Does that make sense? All right, cool. So I'm going to start it like this. If you've ever been curious why people end up selling their cars, selling their dogs, selling their souls to get these outlandishly priced pistols, this is going to give you a better understanding of why a double stack 1911 is the new hotness. It's not as new anymore, but it's still hot right now. There's a lot of companies that are coming out with 2011s, and there's a lot of companies that have been making these guns for years for other companies, and now they're coming out with their own. So I'm going to walk you through every major 2011 on the market, at least the ones that I do know of. And that way, we can get an idea from the less or the least expensive ones that are offerings from certain companies, all the way to the unobtainiums, as I've quoted or coined before, the unobtainium 2011. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get to that point, but we're working on some things. I'm trying to go up that ladder, and destination is Atlas. So, first of all, what is a 2011? 2011 is a coined phrase from a company called STI. STI, which is now known as Staccato, came out with a modular double stack patent in 1994. It had all 1911 controls, and it had a bigger capacity because they widened out the frame and was able to give you a magazine that can double stack 9mm rounds. All right, it was very controllable and it was very accurate, and therefore there was a market that was very small for them, but people were starting to buy them for competition. Since STI started this, they've always had a pretty well-made gun, and it was because they were hand-fitted. They started this whole idea of hand-fitting these guns so they can have a tight tolerance and complex geometry, and it had like this beautiful craftsmanship. And we fast forward today, and that was the formula for these, and since then other companies have added their own changes to these guns, and now we're in a place where many manufacturers are making these so-called 2011s or double stack 1911s. Okay, this is no particular order, and I'm only going to talk briefly about them because otherwise this would be a long ass video. I wanted to start off with Staccato, and like I said, Staccato STI, and they have a few models that are and growing, but their flagship is the Staccato XC. This is what all guns or all 2011 seem to be measured by, compared to. Okay, but this one The XC, I have 3 bullet prints: surgical, competition, duty, hybrid, integrated comp, and the softest recoil of production 2011s. That's not really the case, but that was the case, and that's why it is one of the standards that people go by. So we had the Staccato XC, a top-tier duty competition hybrid with a built-in compensator and buttery smooth recoil impulse. The gold standard of soft shooting production 2011's race gun feel out of the box. If this you guys have heard about, if you want a 2011 and you want something that's been tried and true and based on what the other 2011s are actually modeled after, go ahead and get yourself a Staccato, man. The XC is a little pricey, but it's not as pricey as some of the other ones on this list, and it is a hell of a gun. The XC is kind of like their flagship. They have an XL as well, but the XC is the Staccato that I think most people really want to get. You know what I'm saying? I also like the Staccato P. Now, my idea is after I got one of the guns that is going to be on this list, I don't want to really talk about it yet until we get there, but I wanted to get a Staccato P on that ladder that I said that I was trying to climb to get to an Atlas. This one was more a law enforcement gun that is utilized as a 2011. It's proven reliability, and this is one that was a quote that if you want a 2011 to trust your life with, you get the Staccato P. The most proven duty-ready 2011 in America, widely adopted by law enforcement. The special is legendary reliability and balance, the benchmark by which other compare duty pistols. And that's the Staccato P. The next thing I would go to, and this is the reason I'd say so, is because it's one of the older ones as well, and that's Atlas Gunworks. You guys know how I feel about Atlas Gunworks, man. Atlas is a hell of a freaking gun, man. So we're going to start off with my favorite, and the one that I'm still trying to pursue, the Atlas Athena. The Atlas Athena. It is a versatile firearm designed without a compensator to be used in divisions like limited optics and 3-gun, where a compensator would not be legal or suitable. The Athena can also be used for other purposes like concealed carry. That is my gun. I love it. Check the picture out. I'm not going to do any of the URLs because I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just trying to give you guys like a listing. This is the list of guns that are out there that you probably don't know about, and some of them you do, right? So the flagship for them, the Erebus, the Atlas Erebus. It's a hand-fitted, ultra-refined 2011 designed for serious competition. All right, it's special. It's an Atlas signature comp system, makes it one of the flattest shooting 2011s ever built. The trigger and slide fit are in another universe. The competition grade perfection of a 1911 double stack. It's the Atlas Erebus. There's other guns that kind of can compare to them, but we're not even going to go there. We're just saying that this is one of the ones that are up on the top of the list, all right? So those are the only Atlases I'm going to go over. They have a couple of other things in their line. They have a few guns, man. They've been doing it for a while. They have some discoed, meaning discontinued ones, or models that don't exist anymore. But there's a few out there that go along with the Erebus and the Athena. You guys heard me talk about the Apollo. That's one of them as well. So Atlas, man. Atlas Gunworks. That's my jam right there. So what we're going to do is go over from there to another company you might not have heard about. It's Watchtower. So I'm only going to do one of the guns from Watchtower, and that would be the Apache. If you want, you can always go over to look at Watchtower and see what else they have over there. But the Apache is a modern, aggressive style compensated 2011 with solid performance at a mid-tier price. It's special. It brings Staccato XC vibes for thousands less. Gotta go check them out, you know. I'll probably have I'm definitely going to have somebody shooting that gun so you can see what's up with it. All right. The next one is, I'm going to throw this in there because a lot of people still might know about these, and I'm probably only going to use one just to give you guys a heads up about what it is, because I looked at some of these models, and the cool thing about this company is that every gun they have except for two of them, one is a cooperative pistol that they manufactured with another company, and there's another one there that aren't included in what I'm about to say. Every gun that Nighthawk Custom makes can be converted from the factory at the time of order to be a double stack 1911. And what they do is they widen that frame, like I was saying before, so it can accept a double stack magazine. All right, this one is the Nighthawk Firehawk. First, let's just try to explain a little bit about Nighthawks. Nighthawks Master Built 1911s are available in double stack frames. Their special is one gunsmith, one gun craftsmanship applied to a high cap 2011 platform. They always go by the one gunsmith, one gun, and they ride on their reputation. Nighthawks have great guns. The one that we're talking about is the Firehawk. It's a single port compensated design blending concealability and performance. Nighthawk's reliability with a built-in comp system. Check out the Nighthawk Firehawk. As I said, go down the list when you get there and just look. And anyone that you think is fly, or looks good, or would be in your wheelhouse, they have the ability to make it a double stack as well. All right, Nighthawk's not cheap. It's one of those top tier guns. So, like I said, I'm not doing this in any order. I'm just kind of doing them based on the names you might have heard me talk about, or even that you've seen in your own range. You know. So, okay. So that was Nighthawk. It was the Nighthawk Firehawk. The next company that does really good 2011s, and you've heard me talk about them before, is Bul Armory. So the first one is Ultralight. We have the Ultralight. It is a lightweight, everyday carry focused 2011, built for comfort. Like I said, these guns shoot pretty well, and the price point isn't too crazy, especially based on what the bar was set to, you know. So the special about the Ultralight is one of the lightest 2011s on the market that still runs reliably. The next one from Bul Armory is the EDC Pro. It's a slimmer, cleaner, and carry optimized with great ergonomics. Its special is it's affordable, extremely well made, and surprisingly soft shooting. All right. The one that I think is kind of like on the top of most people's list is the TAC Pro. Okay. The TAC Pro is a duty-ready OptiCut, and it's built tough. It's the best value, full flat, duty-grade, 2011, under $2,500, man. And like I said, you know, the prices for some of these are up there, but a lot of people are going to say $2,500 for a gun, but comparatively to the other 2011s, $2,500 is kind of like, I think, the sweet spot for money per value for a 2011. There's some that are lower that do shoot well. We'll get to more of them. The next company is in particular, but I think for what you expect to get from a 2011, you know, a solid gun that is beautifully made, it's exceptional when it comes to shooting and being flat. I think the $2,500 price point is really where you start to see why people get so addicted to this format, you know. So Bul Armory, you know, they did a great job last year. They continued this year. We got to see if they have anything special coming out for SHOT Show, which is in January. I believe it's in January every year. But anyway, Bul Armory, one of my favorite companies now. Everybody knows I have a Bul Armory. Striker Fire, different conversation, but I kind of like Bul Armory and I like what they're doing. Israeli company. I've said that a couple of times on this channel, so you guys take a look at Bul Armory. The next company that has next gun is made by a company called Girsan. I've spoken about the Turkish guns before. The next three I'm going to do are going to be Turkish guns, and I'm only going to do one from each one of them. They all seem to be in cahoots, meaning that it all seems like they're underneath the TSUS label or brand or umbrella. If they're not under them, it seems to be that they're related in somehow. So you have the Girsan Witness 2300. Now, remember, all these guns usually have a bunch of them in that category, because there's a Witness 2300 Brat, which is the smaller 3.5 inch barrel. But we're just doing like just one of these guns from each category for the most part. You know, if like for instance we had Bul Armory, and Bul Armory is going to give you, I'm going to give you a couple of them because they have a whole lineup of 2011s, and I don't want to mention them all, but I think the three that I did mention should have been mentioned. All right. For the Girsan, you got that Witness 2311. It's one of the most budget-friendly 2011s that still accepts staccato pattern magazines. It's a real 2011 ecosystem compatibility, and it is under $800. It is unbeatable at that price point. So, you know, I know some of these are pricey, but if you're looking at a good striker fire model, you're looking at $650, $700 anyway. So the Girsan gives you like a little bit more in terms of, yo, check this out, there's a different type of gun over here. I know you only shot striker fire. Do you want to try to fire a hammer fired gun that has the bones of the tried and true 1911? The Girsan Witness 2311 is the way to go. You know, $800. You really can't beat it. So another company, like I said, we're going to stay in the Turkish realm for just a minute here. We got the TSUS. And like I told you, I think that most of these come from the TSUS umbrella in the first place. But they have a 1911 Duty B9R double stack. That's their 2011 offering. And what we have is a rugged budget double stack that punches way above its price. It's incredible value. It feels like a $1,300 gun, and it is under $900. So once again, you know, these price points are not too bad for these type of guns. And I've heard a lot of people talk about the Girsan Witness 2311. I didn't get a chance to shoot that, but I've handled the Brat, I've handled the 2311. They feel good. I like the next gun, the way that felt a little bit better, and that would be the MAC DS9 Comp. And if anybody has followed this channel before, you know I have one of these, and I feel that this is one of the guns that are allowing me to take those steps toward my goals, which is the Athena from Atlas. And I really enjoy this gun. You know, it is not an expensive gun, relatively speaking. It's a compact, or it's not compact, but the one I have, or the one that it is a optic ready carry 2011, surprisingly reliable, smooth. I said that I was able to feel a little bit of rubbing on the disconnector, which is not unusual for that, especially for a gun that is not hand fitted or handmade, like some of the other ones that we've been talking about. But for its price point, I think it is $10.99, and you might find some of them for less. You might be able to find one for less. The one thing that I will talk about is some people said because this is a mass-produced gun that the tolerances are different from gun to gun. So you need to try to put your hands on one, feel how it feels, rack that slide, get an idea of it. If you feel that it is good like I did, took it home, and I haven't had any problems like. My man Ty was trying to tell me, and he gave me a heads up that feel the gun, shoot the gun, and then see if you need to do any improvements. This is the gun that I feel you could make out of the box. You can have a list of different parts, and you can actually build yourself a staccato. Mind I say that this gun looks just like a staccato XC. It is not the same gun, obviously. It's a better quality in terms of the XC. But the MAC DS9, you can put some internals in there and start changing a couple of things around with the guide rod, the springs, the trigger job you can get done on it, the grip module. And now you're starting to look like you're serious. Now, take it, you got to put a couple of dollars into it for that. But it becomes a very respectable gun, and I think it's also pretty respectable out of the box. It's a nice gun, and I haven't done much to it. I just put a red dot on it, and I've been carrying on, and it's dope. I love that gun. It's pretty cool. So, those are the three that I think that are important for you to be able to understand from Turkey, man. You got the Girsan, you got the TSUS, and you have that MAC. So keep those in mind if you don't want to spend some of these other higher prices or premiums for the 2011. You know what I'm saying? All right, so from that point, we're going to go on to Phoenix Trinity. Phoenix Trinity, I have a couple of pictures of my man Anthony's. I think it was in Honcho. I think he had a Honcho up there. But I'm going to start with the Honcho. Honcho V2. It's the most modular 2011 ever built. Allegedly. You change barrels, top-ends, calibers. It's the ultimate tuner gun. It's the Lego set of the 2011 world. That's what I saw. I would have to talk to Anthony again and tell him to give me a little bit more of his views on the Honcho. But the Honcho is a dope gun. And there's a few different people that are out there on the internet and YouTube that I've seen in particular that has displayed this gun, and it's no slouch. It's a dope gun. Just recently, and this gun company, Jacob Gray, has been out for a little bit, and they've been doing a bang-up job. They're really doing well with these 2011s. They just dropped the Hex. I don't remember how long ago was it. It was, but the Jacob Gray Hex, I believe they were at, was it SHOT Show? It was one of those trade shows recently, and they came out with the Hex, and that's a premium 2011 with aerospace grade machining and unique Hex aesthetics. Stunning machine work, the Gucci machining for 2011. These are kind of, I put these things together just to kind of give a little bit of a explanation point about the guns when I talk about them. So that's the Jacob Gray Hex. It's a newcomer. A lot of these are, but this is a newcomer, and that gun is pretty stunning. Pretty nice. Check out the Jacob Gray Hex. All right. The next company that I want to talk about is the OA Defense. OA Defense, I've put a few of these up on our Instagram as well, and I was able to put my hands on them. I like them. I don't know how they felt in my hand. It's been a while since I've actually took some photos of them, but I do like them. They're stunning guns. They're beautiful. It's a modernized 2011 platform with great ergonomics and reliability. It's a duty-focused 2011 designed with real-world feedback. There's a couple of different models in that OA Defense that are 2011s that I've taken pictures of. I will probably throw a picture or two up there so you can see how beautiful those guns are. Check out OA Defense if you get a chance. All right. So there's a couple of. I think I'm gonna come back to these two. I think what a good follow up to the OA Defense is the Dan Wessons, the DWX Compact double stacks. A CZ75 1911 hybrid with high capacity, amazing ergonomics. Not a true 2011, but shoots like one with CD smoothness. I threw that in there because there's a few of the Dan Wessons that they're just mistakenly 2011s. You can't tell me that they're not. So I put them in there. I took a few pictures of the Dan Wesson DWXs. I'm going to throw that there too so you can take a look at those as well. I passed a couple. I'm going to come back to them. Like I said, there's no particular order that I'm doing these. The next company that I think you guys should take a look at is the Alpha Foxtrot Romulus. I almost bought this gun. It is getting such good reviews. I think it came out 10, 12 months ago. But for some reason, well, no, I think it was introduced about 10 months ago, 11 months ago, probably at SHOT Show. I have to get that information and let you guys know. But the Romulus, I've been seeing most of the past few months, and I guess, or past few weeks. I guess it's because I almost bought one. But I did remember seeing a couple of videos out there that had the Alpha Foxtrot Romulus from like almost a year ago. So, but it seems to be really doing well, and everybody that shoots it gives it a thumbs up. The reason I didn't pick this up is because I decided to work on something else that I think was a better choice for me. You know, like I said, I have a plan and I'm trying to stick to it. This almost took me off track though. It's a compact 2011 style pistol designed for red dot carry, affordable, modern, and built for concealed carry. This one, the one I was looking at, I think it had a 3.5-inch barrel, 4-inch slide because it has that island comp on it. They also had a 4-inch barrel, 4.5-inch slide with the comp barrel at one time, but I did not see that. It would have been hard for me to pass that one up because, you know, I'm trying not to get into too many small guns. I just don't like the way they shoot, and if I'm going to have something that somebody is saying, you should carry this, I have to be really comfortable shooting it, you know. So that's one of the things that helped me tip into going somewhere else. Plus, remember, I have a plan. Anyway, take a look at the Alpha Foxtrot Romulus. You're probably going to, if you want, just Google it. Or take a look at YouTube and see what else is out there about it. People are going to put a lot of hands-on time that I've seen. And if you did look, you're going to see a lot of people shooting that Romulus. All right? Let's see. The next one is something that most people probably have not heard of, unless you've been kind of following the 2011s for a while. And the company is called Fowler, and the gun is the Vanta 9. So it's the Fowler Vanta 9. Vanta 9. High-end performance, 2011, with machining that rivals Phoenix Trinity. Wildly smooth action, boutique quality with personality. That's what I got for a summary. Beautiful gun. You guys tell me what you think, man. There's going to be a few of these. I want you guys to give me some feedback and tell me what you think about which gun you would get. Who cares about the price? Which one you really want? And if you do get a chance to check out the price point yourself, you can even say, that's ridiculous. Never spending that much money on a gun. Understandable. All right. Another company that is like Fowler, and when I say like Fowler, I don't mean it does the gun like Fowler. I'm saying this is probably one of the gun companies that you have not heard about, unless you really have been paying close attention to the 2011s. Rafferty Custom, Lucky Devil. I've only seen one person that has the Lucky Devil, and that is my guy, 2A in LA. He talks about that gun. The people who have shot that gun on it, that I've seen him share with people, like he has a group. I talked about it in another video. I don't need to really go into it too much, but every one of them wish they could get the Lucky Devil. I don't think they make them like that. It's a custom thing. So I put it in here because it comes up when I watch him. Always talks about it as one of those guns that have a need to be compared to, should I say. And I would love to shoot this gun because everybody who shoots it say they have not shot something like this. Or there's only a couple of guns that come close to shooting like this, should I say. This is one of those handmade customs 2011s, unique styling, serious performance, tuning. It's made to shoot. Artisan level craftsmanship in a 2011 world. This is one of those cream of the crop type guns. And like I told you, there's only, I don't want to say it's one of one. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of them out there, but not many. And I could be wrong. It might be one. I don't think so. I don't think 2A said that, but that is one of those guns right there, the Lucky Devil. I'll have a picture for you. I'll probably have 2A shooting it up there, you know. And shouts out to him, man. He's educated me a lot. So is his friends. There's a whole bunch of people that I watch and give so much due respect to, man, because they've helped encourage me to do this type of stuff. So shouts out to 2A in LA and his Lucky Devil. All right. Another company that is a high-end 2011 offerer, and it is Vulcan Machine Works. They have something called the 11. It's spelled with threes. So it's 3L, 3V, 3N, 11. This gun, I've seen different influencers or YouTube content creators talk about. It's a patented, highly customized, compensated 2011. One of the most aggressive modern compensated 2011s ever made. It's supposed to be really dope. Really want to get my hands on it. I gotta get the SHOT Show, man. If I can, I'm gonna try to get there this year, man. I didn't buy any tickets. It might be something that I just do at the last minute. I really want to get over there to Vegas, though. I want to shoot one of these. So once again, the 11 Vulcan Machine Works. Take a look at it if you get a chance. All right. Stealth Arms Platypus. It's a Glock mag fed 1911, 2011 hybrid, man. It's the only 1911 that eats Glock mags reliably. It's totally unique. I think there might be, no, it is Stealth Arms, yeah. I think that's the only one that has Glock mags. So you have, Glock mags, 9mm in a 2011 frame. So now you can get some cheap magazines for a 2011 because the 2011 magazines are not cheap, man. And if you're like many of them, you want to get the better ones, and they cost a lot more than what comes out the box with your gun. I'd still use those, but they're not cheap. So Stealth Arms, the Platypus, that got a lot of buzz during the year. I've seen that. Take a look at it. Tell me what you think. Next one I'm going to do is Fusion Firearms, the XP Pro. They're still talking about the XP Pro. I think Regular Gun Guy on Friday's Live was talking about Fusion Firearms XP Pro. I think it was a fat guy with guns who was saying that's the gun that he wants. I think they both said they want the XP Pro, man. Good for them, man. I went with the MAC first. I remember I was saying it on live that I went the MAC. I went with the MAC. I had one, and they were like, "Wow, that's cool." But the XP Pro's not an expensive gun either, man. It's feature rich. It's an entry level 2011 from a respected builder. Fantastic value for a hand-built gun, around $1,100. You cannot beat that. So I understand why they were looking at that. They were talking about they weren't going to buy too many more 2011s. Everybody I think had one or two, but they both did say RGG, and in fact, I would go with guns. They wanted that Fusion Firearm XP Pro, baby. Anyway, you'll see the pictures up above. I might even show somebody firing it and shooting it. Shout out to whoever that is. I'll give a courtesy up there when I do that. All right. Next one. Now this is a dope gun. All right. The Venom Customs. So they have a Venom Customs triport. It's a custom build, ported, compensated, oriented, 2011. It's got triport design, extremely flat recoil characteristics. This gun is kind of dope. I've heard a lot of people say they like their Venom Customs. So there it is, Venom Customs triport. Awesome, though. Now this is a company that I've brought up a few times. I didn't know much about them, and when I found out about them and I started doing a little bit of research, I was like, yes. Because these guys do everything in-house, okay? Hayes Customs. Hayes Customs, they have a Cobra series. High-performance custom 2011s built for competition shooters. Hand-fit performance with aggressive styling. Hayes Customs, man. I really like these guns. I should probably try to show you them. Take a look at it. If I ever get to the point where I get to an Atlas Athena, because I'm trying to do like a couple of more steps. But if I get to them and I still have that fever, I'm definitely going to get myself a Hayes Custom as well. So I'm not putting it out there that I will. I'm just saying that once I get to my Athena, if I still want to chill out in this 2011 rabbit hole, I don't know why anybody with a sane mind would, but if I'm crazy enough to still think that I need another 2011, I gotta get myself a Hayes Custom. All right, let's see who else is out there. All right, I got Combat Precision, the GT Dark Horse. The Dark Horse is dope. I saw Weapons Collective shoot one. I think 2A in LA. He also had one, of course. That guy's got so much stuff. It's a modernized duty grade 2011 with premium parts and tuning. It's built tough with competition grade refinement. It is a very cool gun. I'm hoping you guys start to see why these guns are so appealing, man. They're beautiful. Very cool lines. Like I said, built on that whole 1911 World War I and II trooper. It's just, like I said, when I first started to really look at guns back in the days, we couldn't really get guns legally in New York. So I'm not someone who runs around doing stuff crazy. So I just knew I wasn't going to have a gun until I got older, all right? And I was hoping that there would be a time where we'd be able to carry. And, thank goodness for a couple of court cases like Bruin that went in our favor. Every average person now can actually carry a gun. But once I realized the art or the craftsmanship that went into building some of these guns, I kind of fell in love with 1911s really early on, man. And I always said once I got a little older, I was going to get a 1911. And that was the second gun that I bought. I talk about my Emissary all the time. I love the way that gun feels. It's a heavy gun. It's chambered in 45. It really shocked me how light a 45 gun actually shoots, or it can shoot. I won't say all of them shoot light or have an effortless feel to it, but I know that Springfield Emissary is a hell of a 1911. So I just love the way these guns look, and the 2011s take that same type of architecture and they just kind of expand on it, and you can see some of the craftsmanship that goes into these guns, and I think that's why a lot of people really like them. Not just that, it's also, man, the way they shoot. Once you start seeing the way they shoot, and every one of these guns now, or at least these gun makers, I don't know how long they'll be around. Most of these have been around for a long time. They're not just fly-by-night companies. They've done work in the industry, helped other companies build guns, and I'm hoping that they'll all be around. But you get to see the approach that all these different manufacturers take when putting together a really good firearm. All right, another one that I learned about from 2A is the Girsan Arms. Girsan Arms and Covert, which is one of these leading gun store / manufacturers that do collaborations with some of these manufacturers that I'm reading to you now, and that I'm telling you about now. And Girsan Arms, they did a project with Covert called the 3.5. So it's a subcompact ported 2011 designed for deep concealment. One of the smallest 2011 style pistols available. I looked at the other Girsan. I just picked this one. The Girsan Arm stuff looks really incredible. I really like them. So I had to throw one of them in here, and I just chose a 3.5. I don't want to have all the guns in here be me talking about that 5-inch guns. Those are cannons. Not that they shoot hard and heavy. They actually shoot lighter because they're longer and it's easier to control that recoil. The smaller they are, that's when you get a little bit of a snap. But now that they're putting these ports in, there's a difference. It really does help. The next manufacturer is Cardinal Arms. Now, Cardinal Arms is affiliated with another company that has been doing just what I said earlier. They're taking their expertise that they've helped other people make guns, and they're using that to make their own personal gun. This one is called the G2. That one just came out. It's a 2011, a boutique 2011 with heavy customization options. It is also only bought through Covert. Has unique finishes and a tight fitment for the price. This gun surprised a lot of people that were shooting it. And I'll probably, once again, I'm showing somebody else shoot it, and the gun looks awesome. All right. Miller Precision. Now, Miller Precision has some really cool parts for 2011s. All right. Matter of fact, one of the things that I want to put on my Mac is the Miller Precision hand grip module. But they also make their own guns. So they have a custom competition and carry 2011 that has superb machine work. They're known for extreme clean slide to frame fitment. Like I said, these are handmade. So when you slide these things, it's hard to describe. It's really like butter sliding on a skillet. You know, you'll take some guns and you'll pull them back, and there's a lot of resistance. Now, of course, it has to do a lot with the springs, but the way some of these companies make these guns and the way they fit, it's such a tight tolerance, but it's so smooth at the same time. It's incredible. So, Miller Precision. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a foreshadowing, and on my way to the Atlas. I think this is going to be the step that I take after the one that I'm trying to work on now. And this is the Ray City Defense RC9. Look, guys, this gun to me is all of that, all right? Most of these guns that I talked about are all good, but there's going to be one that kind of calls your name, and the Ray City Defense kind of calls my name. There's something about it that seems pretty cool, and I'm really eager to get my hands on one. It's performance-focused 2011, built for speed and reliability. Strong competition options at a reasonable price. It's not terrible. It is one of those steps, I think, on my way to Athena. Check out Ray City Defense if you get a chance, the RC9. Love it. All right, so we talked about a lot of these handmade guns, right? I didn't get to some of the really high-end ones yet. That's still to come. But I do want to point out there are a few of these guys that are mass-produced from gun companies and gun manufacturers that you recognize. One of them is Springfield. When Springfield came out with the Prodigy, they got the 3.5 and 4.25. I think they have a 5-inch as well. Of course, most of them do. You have to get your hands on one if you want just a 2011 that's not going to blow the heck out of your bank. Springfield is one of them. We're going to get to a couple other ones that are kind of like off the shelf. Go with it. It's not custom made, but decent guns. And I was talking to somebody at Empire not too long ago, and they were there picking up their gun because they got some parts for it, and they kind of redid the whole gun. And the gun is just a different animal now. So a good platform to build upon, Springfield Prodigy. It's the most popular budget 2011 with strong aftermarket support. I even wrote down here, best starter 2011. Huge ecosystem and upgrade path, man. Springfield Prodigy, you can't go wrong. Everything doesn't have to be crazy expensive. I went through the Turkish gun, but American made, Springfield Prodigy, man. Check it out. All right, I also spoke about my man Ty before. He found this custom manufacturer who makes decent guns, you know. It's called GP Arms, and this is also a boutique 2011 maker focused on shootability and aggressive styling. Customs looks without an insane price. It's not insane at all. You should go check out GP Arms. Very cool guns. Ty ended up selling his to my man James. So I think he bought 2 of them. So I haven't shot them yet. I did see them. I did hold them. They're good guns. They feel good. I talked about the Springfield Prodigy before. It just didn't feel good in my hands. I don't really remember how I felt about the GP Arms, but it was a nice gun. All right. This is another gun or manufacturer that I really was looking at, and it was a really big toss-up. It still might be between this one and the Ray City Defense, and that is the CNC Gunworks. They came out with the Akira, and Tactical bit it. Dad, he loved it. I think it took 2A in LA by surprise as well. He liked it. I think the Weapons Collective had his chance at shooting it as well, and I think he liked it. And Team Blacksmith, I think he did the same thing, and he really enjoyed this gun. I wanted to get my hands on this. A boutique ultra-modern 2011 with sharp machining and performance upgrades. Almost anime-inspired aesthetics. Very recognizable. Beautiful gun. But like I said, man, it's gotta be some sense to this and stairs to where I need to go. But CNC Gunworks is in the race with Ray City. So if you hear me say something's in the work after this next one that I'm trying to get my hands on, then guess what? It might be one of those. All right, another one that they talked about was, and when I say they, I'm talking about the foursome. They went and they visited Covert, and Covert had some select guns. Like I said, they work with different manufacturers, and this was one of them, the Alpha American Firearms. It's one of the newer 2011 makers, offering strong value and custom options, solid craftsmanship at mid-tier pricing. Listen, man, look at these guns. These are awesome guns, man. All right, as we go further down the rabbit hole, Dark Forge. Now, Dark Forge has a few different guns. I'm going to talk about the Wraith V6. It's a premium ported 2011 with aluminum grip for lightweight speed. Porting, aluminum, both of those together equal extreme light and fast tracking muzzle. This gun with the ports, because they had one out before it, wasn't the Wraith, I forgot which one it was called, but that was crazy. And once you put ports in these things, it just changes. It settles out, flattens out the gun. It's like you can ride it and you can expect it to return back to zero. And that's what it's all about, man. It makes you feel like you're a champ. It feels like a Terran Tactical, or it feels like Pew View, that you could do anything until you start trying to shoot like them, and then you realize, well, they're just special people. But keep practicing, right? All right, so here's another one of those familiar names, and they came out this year and made a splash. And I think it's one of the most attractive guns, especially in terms of the big guys who are, the regular manufacturers that we all know and love, and that would be the Kimber 2K11. That's a pretty gun. I put a couple of them out there on our Instagram page. I might have spoken about them a couple of times in my videos, but the Kimber 2K11, I love the way this gun feels. It is awesome. It's a nice entry into the double stack world, but it is really done well. It's new, so we got to see what the longevity is in terms of the reliability, but you can't go wrong with a gun that is built on the 2011 platform, Not so far, anyway. And Kimber has been trying to really, clean up their name. They've had some issues in the past, and I think this gun right here will help them. They've come out with a few different models now that they had success with the first offering. So, a really cool gun, Kimber 2K11. I kind of put these two right next to each other because they came out maybe a few weeks after each other, and it's also, I think, a cool direct comparison between these two, because this is also another brand that we know and love, or hate, depending on who you are. It's a Sig Sauer P211 GTO. Listen, love that gun too. I know people have talked bad about it, but listen, Sig to me, it's not that they can't do any wrong. I think that they have a really good proven record. They've gotten some contracts. Some people might complain about how that they think they got the contracts in an ill manner. I don't have that much information. I don't know. But I do think that they have some pretty good guns out there. I love the spear that they did to try to replace with an M7, which they're kind of calling it. I think that could be a good gun. Some people didn't like it, but first iteration, I think that gun is going to raise praises eventually. But that's not what we're here talking about. We're talking about the P211 GTO, and I haven't really heard too much bad things about it. I think that and the Kimber 2K11 are two guns that you cannot go wrong with if you want to get into the 2011 game. Word. Old school word. Those guns are dope. Really. I think the Kimber is a little better looking, but I love the way the P211 felt. I love the slide on it. It shocked me, like I said, some of these other guns, when you rack them, it's just a different story that it tells, and you understand, based on it being a handmade gun. But these are mass-produced guns, and they're doing a great job with them. So hats off to Kimber and Sig Sauer for that. All right, who else now? Let me go back up because I have a couple of different ones that I kind of want to speak about, and they are really high-end guns or higher-end guns. And I'll start with the first one. And this is an interesting company because the S from STI that turned into Staccato went off on his own and ended up making a company called Infinity. And if anybody knows anything about the Infinity guns, these things are works of art. They are also works of money. They're worth so much money, but they're beautiful. And the people who do actually put their hands on it and give us our feedback and what to expect of these guns say that they're incredible. It's completely custom, built to order, competition masterpieces. All right. Arguably the most elite 2011s on the planet. The apex of custom work. These are dope, you know? So, please look out for the Infinities. There's a whole bunch of them. I just put Infinity there. I don't care which one you choose. They're beautiful. Let me see if I can find which ones are out right now. Endeavor. All right, let's bring this one up. And Infinity. Oh, they're having a next release in 17 days. People are waiting. Coming soon, coming soon. Goodums Rare Air. That comes out in October. It came out October 10th. Lemon. Marlboro Red. And then the Rude Boy. I saw the Rude Boy. That's a race gun. That's ill. They're all crazy. This is a company. Now he's down in Texas since 1994. Once, like I said, once STI and him, and he just went his way and did Infinity Firearms. Awesome company. Take a look. Check them out. I'll probably put the ones I just set up. Goodums, Rare Air, Lemon, Marlboro Red, and the Rude Boy. I'll put a couple of them up so you can take a look at them. Those are dope. All right. The next company is known for their guns, period. Ultra luxury, 1911s, 2011s, creations, often built from exotic materials. They're functional art pieces, museum-level finishes. The bomb, the Cabot guns. Made in America, these guns are unbelievable. They're also unbelievably expensive. But listen, it's a rabbit hole for a reason. And there's people out there that are buying this gun. If you know anybody that has a Cabot gun, please hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Let me know if you fired one. I'd love to fire one of these guns. This is a beautiful gun. So there you have it. Infinity Cabot guns. Those are the cream of la creme in terms of the cost. I still love Atlas, but like I said, some of these guns can outdo the Atlas guns because they are done well. People, my bad. I forgot one, and I mentioned the name before. I was talking about Terran Tactical. I can't forget TTI. Their guns are kind of crazy too. They're up there with the pricey ones. But in particular, I wanted to at least highlight the TTI Sand Viper. That gun is crazy. It's a beautiful gun. It was featured in John Wick, of course, along with the Combat Master. That I think was his first 2011 that he did. All right, I just wanted to throw those in there. The Pit Viper, the Sand Viper, and the Combat Master. Awesome guns. We've been doing it for a second, so you can always go and take a look at Terran Tacticals, Innovations. Very cool. I love that his guns, and he's gotten to the point where he's Grail status, and people always kind of look at the movies that he is consulted with because he always has a special gun for that, So, Terran Tactical, Innovations. If you're interested, he also does some pretty good striker fire custom guns as well. All right. Atlas has been a good ambassador, so is Staccato. There's other companies that are actually making some of these things, so my hat's off to them. The last company I'm going to talk about is Masterpiece Arms. Masterpiece Arms has a DS9. It is beautiful, and I like them. Now, they're known for their rifles. They make a lot of rifles, but Masterpiece Arms, and they've been around for a while, but like I said, they usually do rifles, but Masterpiece Arms came out with that handgun that is it's nice, man. It's a really cool gun. It's not crazy expensive. It's not cheap either, but it's a beautiful gun. It's a 2011 style double stack pistol, machine billet bar stock. Once again, hand lapped and tuned. Awesome gun, man. So it's the DS9 hybrid. That is the one that I'm thinking of. Masterpiece Arms. Check that one out. So, what do I gotta say? My advice. Final buyer's guide advice. So we have the budget guns. I was going to put the budget guns under Girsan, the 2311, the TSAS DS, the Springfield Prodigy, the MAC DS9 comp. We have a best duty choice that I kind of put into a little category based on what we were just looking at. The Staccato P, the Bul Tac Pro, and the OA Defense. Best competition of the Atlas Athena, the Aravus, as I've already said. Love those guns, come on. The Phoenix Trinity Honcho, and the Infinity SVI is the best competition. We got the best overall value, the Bul Armory line, and the MAC DS series. I'm no dummy. That's why I have the MAC DS9. All right, so if this video helped you navigate the 2011 crazy universe, please drop a like, hit subscribe, join my community. I'm growing slowly, but I am growing, and every view that I get, I am so appreciative. You guys don't even know. I'm just shocked somebody's going to listen to me. Thank you much, you guys. So remember, I want a gun. Stay well regulated. Remember that I love you. Always do. And until next time, man. Peace.